Well, it's time for our health report, and joining us now is Africa 54 health correspondent Linord Moudou with a look at vaccines. Hello, Linord.
Hello, Vincent. Well, the World Health Organization says every year vaccinations protect an estimated 3 million children worldwide against diseases like measles, polio, and pneumonia. But not all children have access to the vaccines they need. The WHO says about 1.5 million children die each year from vaccine-preventable diseases. Over 15% of these mortalities occur among children under the age of 5. Experts and advocates are gathering this week here in Washington, D.C. to rally the American public, members of Congress, and civil society partners around the need to expand access to vaccines to children in developing countries. The Shot at Life is a campaign spearheaded by the United Nations Foundation. Now joining us here in the studio for more on the subject is Felisa Hilbert. Felisa was born in Mexico, where she worked as a registered nurse in impoverished rural areas and participated in many vaccine campaigns. Now she lives here in the United States and is an advocate for education, poverty, and global health. She's also very active with the Shot at Life campaign. Felisa, welcome to Africa 54.
Oh, I am very grateful to be here and very excited. I just love this campaign. Shot at Life is something who was very nice to me, close to my heart, because as a nurse in Mexico, I work in these rural areas with people who don't have access to vaccines. Mm-hmm. And being there, I saw kids dying from very easy vaccines like diarrhea. Kids will die and will come to our clinic, and when we want to take care of them and we don't have enough vaccines, they will die for that. And I remember feeling powerless to not be able to do what I need to do in my college too. And of course, when I moved to the United States, this memory is still alive, and I became very active.
And that's what really got you involved in this campaign, being an advocate and educator. Now with the Shot at Life campaign, this campaign started 4 years ago, and you've been involved from the very beginning. And what type of difference has this campaign made as you look at the type of work that you've done advocating and everyone that has been involved?
It has been a huge difference, because I remember coming 4 years ago, and we were like 45 champions to create awareness and this diversity and make sure that the people knows more about that these things are happening. The vaccines are not very accessible to people in other countries like we had the privilege to have here. And now,
4 years later?
4 years later, I can see that we had raised money, 5.8 million to raise vaccines for that.
So 15.8 million.
That's a huge point, huge difference. And that means are saving lives of mommies that I remember in my experience meeting mommies that will walk for miles to get there because the vaccines were not
there. And you also traveled to Uganda, where you were able to see firsthand some of the work that is being on the ground and some of the issues and the challenges. Now, when you look at the experience that you've had in Mexico, being a country also that has some challenges, what can you tell us in terms of commonalities and what you've learned from them?
It was like a flashback to the past, because I don't practice nursing for almost 15 years over there. And I remember going to Uganda and going to, with the UNICEF, that was a privilege to be, and see that what I had been done here, advocating and raising funds, it was working, because they invited us to be in a health fair family outside churches and mosques. And the similarities were so amazing. I saw the same families, the same faces. I saw the still doctors going to a very close room with a funnel to check the babies. And I was thinking that was 20 years ago, but they don't have the resources. But the difference between Mexico and Africa, and especially Uganda, is that every 20 seconds, a child is dying there. And I remember in Mexico, we don't have that statistics. And 1977, when we don't have the rotavirus vaccine, we had 800 people die from diarrhea a year. But we're talking about every 20 seconds.
Every 20 seconds, yeah.
And that's a huge numbers. My heart was, I just feel so compelled to say what I'm going to do when I go back, because we need to change these statistics. This is something who really everybody should know.
Yes.
That we need to get involved and make sure that these vaccines get to everybody, no matter where they were born.
Absolutely. Felisa, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insights in this. And that was Felisa Hilbert. She is a nurse and an advocate with the Shot at Life campaign.